For the final week of the regular season, head coaches Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh face off for the 31st time. It's the Steelers and the Ravens headed your way on EA Sports.
The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up. As they get ready here, they come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week was they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. On the option right is Jackson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So that one will be accepted. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Jackson now. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep, Ray McLeod. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the 2015 NFL Most Valuable Player in his 11th season in the league, 32-year-old Cam Newton.
And he's looking good now. I mean, 5 touchdown passes in the last game. Okay, he threw a couple of interceptions. That's a little bit of a concern. But I remember a basketball coach telling me one time he had a guy average about 40 points a game, and he said the press got all over him because he didn't play much defense. He said he's averaging over 40 a game. The guy against him's not scoring that. We still have the advantage.
Yeah, and they got the win last week in that effort.
Even better. It's always best to clean up things.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. First carry now for Gus Edwards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was caught free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Returning from his end zone is Ray McLeod. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Newton. They'll set up the screen to Balazs. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Presley Harvin now. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
And that hold goes to wipe away a big return.
And I know from the outside in, you think, why are you holding? Just make sure you don't grab anyone. But you want to keep people away from your return guy. And sometimes those sudden moves, that speed, you reach out and inadvertently do something, and the penalty flag comes out.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now Jackson going to take off with it. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Once more, Edwards. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Ravens are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots, because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in-the-hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today. Balaj. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it. What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So, Charles, we have reached the end here of a long season, Week 18, which we don't say very often, although this is not the first Week 18 that the NFL has ever seen.
Not at all, and Brandon, some of the people might be a little bit too young to remember, but back in 1993, the league experimented with giving teams 2 open weeks for the year, and we also saw Week 18 when the league was on pause for a few weeks in 2001 following the attacks on September 11th.
The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. Sheds off the tackle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Edwards. Shrugs the tackle. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Ray McCloud to return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here we go. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. They fake the give. Newton. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, these two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year, with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points. But he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first. From the red zone now, Newton. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Again, Newton. This is caught. Touchdown. Chase Claypool hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here's Edwards again on second down. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here.
Nice run defense presented there. And what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And this is caught by Watkins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. They run the option here on 1st and 10. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. On the handoff, Edwards And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. This one swung out to Williams. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. On 1st and 10, Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Justin Houston. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Newton. This will be caught. Judy. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. Boswell good with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. Open man is Duvernay. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And Andrews lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it? The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. To throw again is Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead works its way up to 10. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On the give, this is Harris. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second down and 8. Newton to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Got some real estate inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. An explosive 38-yard pickup. So that one just a little touch pass, but it paid off quite handsomely.
Yeah, and let's face it, the quarterback loves it because it pads his stats as a completed pass for nice yardage downfield. But I like the way they get the receiver in motion. It's almost like he's running a route before he gets the football, because he's got a full head of steam when the ball is popped in his direction.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead is down to a field goal. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And they run with Edwards off the option. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 59 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense.
Off the option, here's Edwards. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Justin Tucker on for the field goal. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
Returning from his end zone is Ray McLeod. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Newton. It's brought in by Harris. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see them drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Malik Harrison on the tackle. From the 39, Newton. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Here's a run with Balaj. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Kalen Balaj with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A third quarter now, and a one-point game as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And that's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Jackson. A swing pass here to Edwards. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Back now in Baltimore. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Now Newton. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Cameron Hayward. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Jackson leaves it with Edwards on the draw. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a dump off here complete, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 44-yard line.
And they run with Edwards off the option. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Ravens on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Again, it's Edwards. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and just like that, it's 3rd down. They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal of 46 yards.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Back to throw, Newton. Flushed out right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd third down.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had the play diagnosed perfectly there.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 38, and he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. McLeod now on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. High throw, but the catch is made. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Newton now to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Chuck Clark picking it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, two-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run once more with Edwards. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, here's Edwards. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
94 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Jackson to throw. Slings it to Anders, and it's complete. The tight end has him. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So Cam Newton and his offense down by 9. A little over a minute and a half remaining. A crushing loss to their playoff chances on the horizon, barring a huge turnaround here, starting with 1st and 10. Here's Newton. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. Let's go, boys! Let's go! After reviewing the play, ruling on the field stands. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Open man completes it to Claypool. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Claypool with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Steelers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Baltimore, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh,